War funding debate on the front burner today. In a little less than 2 hours, he's expected to challenge Congress to pass a bill that he's willing to sign. Later today, the president will meet this year's Super Bowl champs, the Indianapolis Colts. Virginia Tech students resumed classes today. Earlier this morning, many remembered the first 2 shooting victims of the massacre. Caroline Shively is live in Blacksburg, Virginia with an update. Good morning, Caroline.
Good morning to you, Allison. 45 minutes ago, students and their supporters gathered outside the dorm where Seung-Hui Cho began this rampage, gunning down 2 fellow students. Those supporters were made up of a band and others who were praying as well. One was carrying a sign that said, "Alabama loves Virginia Tech." An hour and 45 minutes from now, the entire university will observe a moment of silence at the hour the Norris Hall shootings began. The only sounds you'll hear on campus are the Burris Hall bell ringing 32 times. Students back today say events like these are helping them through it.
I went to the drill field memorial service yesterday, and it was like really nice, like the somber attitude and just like respectfulness. So.
Yeah, Tech did everything. They saved our lives. So I mean, I'm going back. I mean, I think Tech did everything they could.
A medical examiner now says Joe fired enough shots to hit his 32 victims more than 100 times. Many of the victims had defensive wounds, like putting their hands up to shield their faces, but there's no sign of a struggle. The ME also says blood samples from Joe will be tested to see if he was on drugs. Today, eBay cleared up some confusion on what Joe purchased on their site. eBay says he bought empty ammunition clips and a gun holster. Over at the Student Union today, the banners and signs and gifts sent from other universities are on display for students to see their support. But some students will never get a look at them. The school is allowing them to drop classes without penalty or to accept their current grades if they want to spend the rest of the year at home. The student government has told us they want reporters out of here today. They desperately want to get back to normal. And our satellite trucks and cameras are just another reminder that normal is still a long way off. Allison.
Caroline Shively live in Blacksburg this morning. Thank you. In other news, Defense Secretary Robert Gates meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin about building anti-missile bases in Poland and the Czech Republic. It's Gates' first visit to Russia since taking office last December. Russia has long objected to a U.S. military presence near its borders. The anti-missile system is a sore spot in Russia-U.S. relations. Homeland Security accuses FEMA of exposing taxpayers to significant waste in the awarding of Hurricane Katrina contracts. According to a new report, FEMA gave $3.6 billion worth of contracts to companies with poor credit histories and bad paperwork. FEMA says taxpayers were not at risk and says it was comfortable with the financial viability of bidders. Presidential candidate John McCain unveils his energy agenda today. The Democratic senator will call for a cap on greenhouse emissions to fight global warming. On the Democratic side, Senator Barack Obama lays out his vision of U.S. foreign policy to Chicago's Council of Global Affairs. Last November, he used the same group as a venue to call for a withdrawal from Iraq. Sorry, I thought we were talking about John Edwards. I have hair on the brain.
Yeah.
Because we're having a...
You've got hair on